Hello everyone! I've already shared interesting facts about all the Sprunky. In this video, I'll reveal new official facts confirmed by the creator of the Incredibox Sprunky mod. I promise they'll shock you. The first one we'll talk about is Simon. Nyanko BF confirmed that Simon and Oren are not relatives but are good friends. It was confirmed that Simon bit Brood, although the reason remains unclear. Simon has antennas similar to Funbot's, but his are a lighter yellow color. It's quite possible that Garnold and Kluker drew inspiration from Simon for their creations. Simon, Oren, and Durple are best friends. Simon and Brood have a good relationship. However, his act of harming Brood in horror mode suggests that an abnormal state might influence the victim's mind or memories. Another theory suggests Simon might have been under external control when he bit Brood. Simon loves chocolate. Simon was kind before taking on his horrifying form. Simon has slightly poor vision. Simon is an excellent dentist. If Simon had to be an animal, he would be a playful dog. The bumps on the sides of his head are not ears but rather horns. Now let's talk about Mr. Fun Computer. Mr. Fun Computer was created by Garnold and Kluker, similar to Funbot. Mr. Fun Computer is the smallest character in the game, unless you count the desk as part of his body. He has the longest name of all the characters. Mr. Fun Computer's singing syncs with Simon's synthesizer and Tunner's whistle. This is no longer the case in the cancelled version, where Tunner sings a different melody, but the whistle remains somewhat similar. In horror mode, Kluker and Garnold do the same thing. Despite being over 18 years old, he still looks and acts like a child. It has been confirmed that Mr. Fun Computer will be one of the survivors in horror mode, along with Gray, Wenda, Funbot, Jevin, Brood, and Pinky. Next, let's talk about Jevin. Despite his sinister appearance in horror mode, Jevin is on the good side. It has been confirmed that Jevin is one of the survivors in horror mode, along with Gray, Wenda, Funbot, Pinky, Brood, and Mr. Fun Computer. Jevin is a cultist. Jevin, without his hood, would likely be bald, as claimed by the mod's creator. If he were given an axe, he would only use it in emergencies. Jevin knows about black in horror mode. Jevin does not smoke. He is likely a devoted believer in his own god. His hobbies are unknown. Except for Mr. Tree, he and Tunner are the oldest. Jevin rarely smiles despite being kind and capable of smiling. Black forgot to kill Jevin, Gray, and Funbot. Despite appearances, Jevin and Black are enemies. Now let's talk about one of the most mysterious characters, Black. Black is the only canonical character who does not appear in the normal mode, as placing him instantly transports you to horror mode. Thus, he is the only character with a normal form that is non-canonical. Black is the only character without an official name. The official name Gary is simply Gary. If you try to drag Black's icon to an empty slot without seeing the others, a message from Black appears on the screen. Don't mess with me yet. Meet your friends first. And in the Co-Crea version, the icon will shake violently and return to its original position. Black was the one who crushed Kluker by dropping a brick on him. In Black's old sprite, his eyes were located below his face, meaning his old sprite is based on an even older sprite seen in the gallery section. According to the creator of Sprunky, if Black were a regular character, he would have a deep voice. The mod's creator stated that Black occasionally breaks character and acts like a kind grandfather towards the others. Black forgot to kill Gray and Jevin and failed to kill Funbot. What about Brood? Simon bit Brood. Despite being bitten, he feels no pain and is still alive. Simon also ate Brood's bucket and choked on it for a while. He is a stereotype of the dumb character. Brood is one of the survivors, along with Gray, Wenda, Funbot, Jevin, Pinky, and Mr. Fun Computer. When alone, he eats moss. Brood wears a bucket to hide the spike on his head. Brood can speak, but not in complete sentences. Brood can understand simple things like colors and preferences. In the original concept of the horror phase, Brood's face was supposed to feature acid. Now, let's talk about Kluker. Kluker and Garnold are not relatives but good friends. It was confirmed that Kluker built Funbot and Mr. Fun Computer with Garnold. This is also related to Kluker's hobby of building. Kluker can remove his plate. The fact that Kluker's antenna is longer in horror mode might suggest it extends through his entire head or possibly most of his body. It's likely Kluker was killed by having his plate crushed or by someone else cutting him. Now let's talk about Funbot. Funbot was created by Garnold and Kluker, the same team behind Mr. Fun Computer. In terms of design, Funbot incorporates elements from both creators, including their shared color schemes. He also has the same visor design as Garnold. It has been confirmed that Funbot is one of the survivors in horror mode, along with Gray, Wenda, Pinky, Jevin, Brood, and Mr. Fun Computer. Interestingly, characters like Black, Simon, and even Wenda cannot harm him, as Funbot is immortal. Funbot, Gray, and Jevin are the only Sprunky whose appearances didn't change significantly in horror mode. If given a weapon, he would not use it. It's confirmed that Funbot and Brud are not related. Funbot is one of the few characters who survived horror mode without injuries. The others are Wenda, Jevin, and Gray. For now, Funbot remains gender neutral until the mod's creator confirms otherwise. Let us know in the comments which fact surprised you the most and why. We'd also love to hear who your favorite Sprunky is and who you like the least. Don't forget to share your reasons, whether it's because of their personality, backstory, or design. Now let's dive into a discussion about my favorite character, Gray, and what makes them so unique. First off, Wenda and Gray are not related in any way, despite some fan theories. While their exact relationship remains a bit unclear, one thing is certain: neither Wenda nor Gray harbors romantic feelings for each other. In fact, the creator has explicitly stated that they dislike the fan-made pairing of Gray and Wenda and have no intention of ever making it canon. Additionally, there's an interesting detail about Gray's species. Despite what many might assume based on their appearance, Gray is not a cat. They might resemble one at first glance, but that's simply not the case. Another thing to note about Gray is their demeanor. Unlike some of the other characters, Gray rarely smiles, which adds to their mysterious and somber personality. Gray plays a significant role in the game's narrative structure. They take the spotlight as the main protagonist in horror mode, while Simon assumes the lead role in normal mode. One of the visual indicators of Gray's emotional state is their ears. They droop in horror mode as a symbol of distress and unease. Interestingly, in the original concept for the character, Gray was meant to have hair instead of the distinctive ears we see now. This change added a lot to their design and made them much more memorable. Lastly, there's a curious plot detail involving Black. At one point, Black failed to kill Gray, Jevin, and Funbot, leading to further developments in the story. What do you think about Gray? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Now let's discuss one of the most intriguing characters, Mr. Sunday. Mr. Sun might be the smallest star in history. The smallest recorded star, SGR 1935 + 2154, has a radius of 4.35 kilometers. In his horrifying form, Mr. Sun isn't dead but simply abnormal. If Mr. Sun were to die, everyone else would die as well, including humanity. Since Mr. Sun is a star, his age could be 4.6 billion years, although this is just a guess, as the Sprunky world might exist in a different solar system. Mr. Sun, like Mr. Tree, represents an entirely different species compared to other Sprunky. Next, let's talk about Mr. Tree. Mr. Tree is over 50 years old. Mr. Tree, Mr. Sun, and Mr. Fun Computer all share the title Mr. in their names. He can move, but it takes a lot of time. What do you think of these theories? Share your opinions in the comments. We hope you found these theories truly fascinating and thought-provoking. If any of them stood out to you, let us know which ones and why. They might align with your own ideas or spark entirely new ones.